He is still angry with me for everything I have done, and rightfully so. 5 Sickening confessions of Reddit. I sneak sips of my co-worker's breast milk from the lunchroom fridge. She just had a baby a couple months ago and will pump on her breaks at work in the bathroom and put her milk in the refrigerator in the lunchroom. I take my lunch later than everyone else just to be alone in there and take a sip or two of her breast milk. Thankfully there are no cameras and I have never been caught. I know that if I get caught I will lose everything. I never intended to do this, but I had to take lunch late one day. I opened the fridge and there it was. I had to taste her milk. I couldn't stop myself. I quickly looked around and no one was in the lunchroom or coming down the long hall. I opened the bottle and took just a taste and it was so good. I've done this multiple times per week for over a month now. I know this is wrong, but I can't stop myself. I'm the scary guy who is out late at night. Have you ever been out late at night and seen a 6 feet tall dude walking menacingly? Yeah, that's me. I have really bad anxiety, so I only do my cardio late at night, usually past 11 p.m. There's something about the freedom of night time. There's usually no one else walking, it's super peaceful, and places like public parks have an insanely nice vibe. The problem is, on the rare chance I see someone else, they usually freak out and start going the opposite way. One time I was walking at 2 a.m. and there was a granny on her front porch. She literally yelped and ran inside her house when she saw me. That kind of hurt. The thing is, I'm as scared as they are. I keep a pocket knife on me in case I get mugged. I try to stay in well-lit areas, and whenever I see someone I will go a different route to avoid them. I guess that's my confession. Sorry for everyone I've scared. My husband spent almost $500 on OnlyFans and custom content from random women on Reddit. I saw some questionable charges on my husband's credit card, and when I asked him about it, he pretended he had no idea what I was talking about and that it must be fraud. Okay, I won't argue. He has a history of making impulsive purchases, so I expected I would have to investigate myself. I logged into his email and looked at the emails from the same day of the purchases and saw a bunch of PayPal transactions. Long story short, I was able to trace it to OnlyFans subscriptions, custom content purchases, and saw he was sending money to random women on Reddit for God knows what. In the span of a month and a half, he spent almost $500 of OUR money on this. My birthday was 2 weeks ago and he said he was low on money but would take me out next time he got paid. Now I know why. I haven't confronted him yet because I don't know what to do. I feel completely disrespected, disappointed, and angry, and I know that I can't talk to him right now when I'm so worked up. Also, I've been trying to be more adventurous romantically and feel like we've been having a great intimate life lately, so this just feels like such a slap in the face and like I'll never be enough. I'm so angry and I have no one else to talk to about this because it's so embarrassing. I don't know what my next step is going to be. I don't deserve this. I hate the body positivity movement, and here's why. I was 320 pounds in January 2021. The body positivity movement saying you're gorgeous if you're morbidly obese is complete bullshit and just made me feel worse about myself. If it was about being disabled, crippled, or some other thing I could get it. I took some extremely physically demanding jobs last year and am now down to 240 pounds. No, I'm not asking for a pat on the back. I was just doing this because it was medically and financially responsible. Now we have people making up phrases like fat phobic being the reason they are single. That's like blaming a straight or gay person for their sexual preferences not being attracted to you. Stop blaming other people for your problems and own your mistakes. Eating cake and candy all the time is a decision you make. I'm not saying start bullying people. I'm saying stop lying to them. I still want to lose more weight because I'm still overweight. Okay, end of rant. I hope you all have a great day. I am a drug addict. This is my story. For 9 years now I've been addicted to amphetamine. It's ruined my life. During that time I've lost my wife, my kids, my house, my job, my car and my self-respect and most of my teeth. I started doing amphetamine and I kept it from my wife for a time, but eventually she figured it out. She told me I had to stop immediately or she and the kids were leaving. I agreed and promised to stop, then got high the same night. She eventually figured it out again and gave me the same ultimatum, but added that I needed to join a 12-step program. I did and I stayed clean for a time, but then I had a shitty day and went right back to it. She found out and she and the kids left that night. She told me that we were done. She made it clear that it was them or the amphetamine, and I picked amphetamine. After they left and my wife sent me divorce papers, I started spiraling. I started doing more and eventually it affected my work. I fucked something up because I was strung out from the night before. It was an accident with heavy machinery. Thankfully no one was injured, but it was company policy to drug test me and I did not pass, so they fired me. I got even more into amphetamine and would do it for days with friends at the apartment I was living in. Eventually I needed more drugs but had no more money, so I started doing petty crimes for drug money. Then the unthinkable happened. My ex-wife was in a terrible accident and passed away. My children had already lost their father and now they lost their only parent who was taking care of them. I was high as shit when I heard the news. I had a breakdown and I checked myself into rehab and joined the program again. I had to be there for my children. They were living with her parents as they were the closest family. I got my act together and saw them for the first time in over 4 years. I was afraid I might never be able to get them to forgive me, but the first thing they did was hug me and cry because I looked so much better than the last time they saw me. I started working multiple jobs to save more money, but I would come by and see them every couple weeks. I worked 60-plus-hour weeks for 4 years, saving every penny I could, and when my son graduated last year I told him about the money I saved for his and his sister's education. He was speechless. It was not a small amount I saved for both of them, but I lived in a shitty studio in a bad part of town, had 2 decent paying jobs, and I didn't have things like cable, internet, I'm using my neighbor's Wi-Fi for my phone, or bought anything that wasn't essential. Between the money I saved, his grandparents saved, and his scholarship, my son went to one of the better law schools in the country. He was reluctant to take that much money from me and he is still angry with me for everything I have done, and rightfully so, but I'm glad I convinced him to take it. I told him that I didn't get the money because I wanted him to forgive me. I did it because he deserved better than what he got from me, and so does his sister. I'm so proud of him. He's going to be incredibly successful someday. He's going to be a better man than I am in every imaginable way, despite the ways I've failed him for so much of his life. I'm still on track with my daughter's money and she's graduating next year. I did have to quit the second job early this year because honestly both jobs are very physically demanding and I honestly just can't do those kind of long hours anymore. My doctor tells me I will probably need knee surgery in the near future because of the damage done to my knees, but honestly I don't care if I ever walk again after next year, as long as I get my daughter her money to further her education in whatever way she sees fit. If I can do that for my children, it won't make up for anything, but it'll ensure that they will be well off. She wants to be a doctor. I just hope she can swing med school with the money I'm getting her. It'll all be worth it to see my children succeed. I'm doing better now. I'll be getting my 5-year chip in a few months. I will never use again or let my children down. I'm planning on getting a second job again in a few months after some more time of working only 50-ish hours a week just to get more money. I know my body will hate me for this, and I have at best maybe a few years before things get worse for me physically, but it's okay. I will be fine knowing that I made sure my children will be successful and better than me. It's going to be worth it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to hear more confessions, click on my playlist in the description, or subscribe for future videos.